Hi, my name is Chuck Hubert. I am a voice actor. I started on Dragon Ball Z as Garlic Jr. I'm gonna push you into the Dead Zone, yeah. And then I did Android 17, which was like voice actor vacation, because I just got to be like, I'm gonna kill all the humans, whatever. And then the big one I got after that was Hiei from Yu Yu Hakusho, which everybody loved. Because everybody loves Hiei, because he's short and he's angry. And he's a demon, and he's powerful. And he's a bad guy, good guy. I'm bad, but I'm good. I do bad and good things. Hero in Shin-Chan, Dr.Stein in Soul Eater, Shao Tucker from Full Metal Alchemist. Sebastian from Black Butler. Thank you for reminding me, last interviewee. I forgot I did that. Kululu in Sergeant Frog, Hero in Shin-Chan. I said that already. And lots of other stuff.
Okay, for first question, since this is your first NDK, how are you liking it so far?
NDK is very well organized. The fans are really cool. We were commenting, we were like, there's a lot of pretty people here. Like, a lot of, like, their costumes look really nice, they're not thrown together, and everyone's like, and then I think someone said that's just Denver. Denver has pretty people that just come to Denver. I don't know why. Because of the mountains. It makes their skin pretty. That and the aliens that live in the mountains.
Okay, wow, this is going to be a hard one.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, what was, how did you actually get started into voice acting? Was it something like you just wanted to proceed into, or just something that accidentally happened?
It was a total accident. I started as an actor. I've been acting since I was in like 6th grade, 5th grade. Actually, it started when my brothers made a remake of The Empire Strikes Back on Super 8 and refused to cast me as R2-D2. Webb Tilney got to be Yoda and R2-D2. And I was a little kid at the time, and I thought I was a shoo-in for R2-D2 because he didn't have any lines, just had to get in the cardboard box. And they wouldn't even let me be R2-D2. So that's when I started acting. I showed them. And then fast forward to Dallas, Texas. Fort Worth, actually, and my buddy Brad Jackson, he's like, hey, they're auditioning for this anime show called Dragon Ball Z in North Richland Hills. You should go audition. And I'm like, that sounds like a scam. That's not real. People don't audition for anime. It just happens magically. And so then I went to the audition, this bald dude with a low voice, I have Chris Sabat, come on here. That's what Chris sounds like. And, sorry Chris, we auditioned and got Garlic Jr. and the rest is history, or is actually still ongoing, so it's not history. The rest is present.
Okay, for, as your career progressed, was there any other voice actor or actor you really looked up to?
Most of them, most everybody. Had something to teach you about voice acting. I'd say one of the biggest aha moments was I was sub-directing and Lucy Christian came in to act and I was directing her for 4 hours. And I was 10 years into my career at this point. I thought I was a master. I knew everything. And she came in and was so spot on and able to do so much dialogue at a take and do it so get the dance of it down, because you got to match the flaps. It's got to be, you know, it's got to be right. She was so good at it that it made me like really think I needed to get better. So I started working harder when I was in the booth.
When you audition for a role, do you actually just try to get for a certain type of character, or you just go for whatever you can get?
I go for whatever I can get, for sure. There's certain types of characters that people know I'm good for. I'm not good for the hi, I'm the hero of, no, it sounds like I can't do the hero kid thing, the teenage kid thing. My voice is, it's not there anymore. But the crazy characters or teachers, I seem to get teachers or crazy characters or dads or murderers, murdering dads, dad murderers who murder teachers with demon powers. Get a lot of those. People with screws through their head, I get a lot of.
And for Dragon Ball Z, how do you feel being a part of something that's so big?
It's amazing. It's awesome. I mean, I never would have thought that it was anything, and then came to find out how big it was and how, you know, what a fan base there was, and you're just lucky because you just happened into it. Had I just ignored Brad, which is usually what I do, I ignored Brad, but for some reason that day I listened to him, and now I'm here.
In regards to Soul Eater, you got the role of Stein. How did you actually end up getting that role?
I was Zach was directing, and Peter was the engineer, and I'd worked with Zach on Shin-Chan, so he knew me. And I think they knew what I could do with Stein, because Stein is sort of in my wheelhouse, as they say. He's crazy and broad and serious and real, and you know, has to have a certain unhinged quality, which I would say if you talk to anyone who knows me, they would say I am slightly unhinged. Not in a bad way, most of the time. Sometimes really bad. Time with the firebomb.
And as regards to anime, are you actually a fan of it at all, or are you just like doing the work for it?
Absolutely a fan. It is harder when I was writing. It was very hard to watch any anime because I was staring at anime 15 hours a day. And so I would watch the shows I was writing, Spice and Wolf, Baccano, Aria the Scarlet Ammo, Sergeant Frog, Italia. So I'd watch the shows I was writing. And luckily I got to watch a lot of really cool ones. But outside of that, I couldn't, there was no time to. And then Summer Wars came out, and I watched that with my family. And Spice and Wolf, I was writing that back and forth with Jamie Markey, and so I went back and when that came out, watched the episodes I hadn't written to see how hers came out. And I've watched some Soul Eater. I definitely watched the Medusa arc and followed that through because Medusa was awesome. And Sergeant Frog I watched with my kids. They like that a lot. They think that is the funniest show, and they think Brina's character is the funniest character on it. And I said, no, it's Kululu. He's the funniest. And they're like, well, he's funny, but he's not Tamama.
Okay. Going back to Soul Eater, when you were as Stein and seeing this artwork, did you kind of question it because it had a little cartoonish look versus how anime is really in-depth in their drawing?
I loved it. I loved the style of it. I loved the colors. I loved the composition. I just loved everything about it. It was just so different. It just struck you, and you're like, wow, this is not normally what I'm used to seeing. So it was just fun to have. You know, there's some animes that they all look the same to some extent. And some that do it with better skill than others. Some are really, really beautiful. And some are like, well, they're going in that direction, but it's a good story. Soul Eater was one that just had a great story and was just visually beautiful to look at, even though it was different than it normally would be.
Okay, as regard, I know I've been hitting Soul Eater a lot, but
that's all right.
My fans keep asking about this.
Sure.
Would you actually want to grow up in that kind of environment and actually be trained to do this kind of stuff?
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, that'd be cool. I also think I'd like to be a furniture maker in the woods. Either that or teach at a school and have awesome powers. And a screw through my head. Yeah, I mean, the funny thing about a lot of the dramatic situations in anime is they look really awesome, but I think if you were really in some of those situations, it'd be really scary. It's life or death a lot of times. I don't necessarily want to do that. At least not with my kids around. Look out for the monster! Oh, lost another one. There's extras. No, none of you are extras.
Well, when you mentioned about writing for Spice and Wolf, how was that compared to actually voice acting?
Spice and Wolf was really a really fun challenge because it was each episode. It was trying to make medieval finances interesting. Because it was about medieval trading, and so it had a lot of, and at the time we wrote it, I think Lehman Brothers was going under, and so there was a lot of overlap between what was going on in the actual economy and what was going on in Spice and Wolf. And there was actually an episode that was essentially about derivatives. And so we got to kind of reflect on what was happening in the actual economy. So it was a challenge, but it was a fun one. Like, because you had to make sense of what the Japanese translation was trying to say, and it was really, you know, it's not something you can fake. It's got to be correct. You have to be talking about the correct financial principles. So that was kind of fun.
Another thing regarding that, did you actually think Spice and Wolf would explode like it did? Considering that it was, like you mentioned, its financial state, it was just talking about finances versus other animes go off into different storylines?
I'm not surprised, because I really liked it, and I think, you know, if you've been around it as long as we have, and something strikes you as really interesting, then it's probably going to be good. And I liked it because of the relationship, the character relationships between the leads. You know, it's one of those unrequited, you know, sort of love stories. It's never going to quite get there. And I think I'm happy that it's popular, because I think it's a great show. It's a fun world to live in. It seems like it'd be fun to live in that world. Stay at an inn, and, you know, traders coming in, and, you know, just be fun. It reminds me of Aragon. Like with Spice and Wolf, I think Aragon could take place during Spice and Wolf. Those worlds could merge together. It'd be fun.
Okay, regards to Yu Yu Hakusho, was that role pretty easy for you, or for Hiei, or was it kind of just a little off?
I was so green in the business back then that I didn't know the difference between hard or easy. It was just the role I was doing, and it was... I had no idea that's Yu Yu Hakusho. When that blew up, that was what made me go, wow, okay, this is a real business, this is a real industry, this isn't just some job I'm doing. But actually doing Hiei was, as a matter of fact, I got so adept at doing Hiei that on my last session, we recorded my last lines. I used to go with no beeps, because it beeps 3 times and then you say your line. So I used to go with 1 beep, then started narrowing it down, then no beeps, then no picture. So I was just the script, and he would press record, and I was so used to Hiei's voice that I said the line and it would fit the flaps, because I knew what he was going to do. So I had become Hiei, and then I killed random strangers.
Are there going to be any other conventions you plan on attending or would like to attend?
Yes, I am attending. Next weekend is Otaku Max. After that is Anime Syracuse, and then I can't. That's as far as I can think ahead. But there's other ones, I'm sure.
And for this convention, was there anything in particular, like anything interesting that happened with one of your fans? Like they wanted you to do something crazy or something a little bit different?
No, nothing crazy or different. Not yet, anyway. It's only Saturday. It's still kind of early. No, there's curiously enough, there's a lot of people I haven't seen in a while who are here, so I'm getting to see a bunch of old friends and stuff, and people from other conventions. So it's been just kind of fun, kind of awesome.
Here's another random one for you. Would you ever cosplay as one of the characters you've actually acted for?
Yeah, I cosplayed as Dr.Stein. I forget where. I can't remember. But I have a Stein cosplay that I'll wear occasionally. And it's fun. I usually wear it to a Q&A, and I sit in the audience, and then they're like, "Where's Chuck? Chuck's not here. Where's Chuck?" And then I'd stand up and ask a question to one of the voice actors. And then they realize it's me, and it's very exciting.
Is there an anime series you wanted to get involved with but couldn't because of either other obligations or you just couldn't get the part?
All of them. I want to be in everything. And you can't be in everything. But Yeah, what was one that I wanted? I had that role. I usually forget about them. I've gotten to do a lot of the really cool ones. I really can't complain. There's some newer ones recently. I've been very busy recently, and directors are... It's not that they won't hire you if you're busy, it's just that it's very close. We have a lot of very talented people doing this work, so if it's close between you and another guy, and the other guy is not as busy as they know you are, they'll probably go with the other guy, because it just makes it easier for scheduling. So I haven't been able to do as much recently, like the past year, as I would like to. I'm starting to get to do more now, so I just want to do the next one. I just want to be able to keep doing anime for the rest of my life.
All right. You said before you were originally an actor, but if you were never introduced to anime, where do you think you would be now?
Acting-wise?
Yes.
That's a really interesting question, because my film and producing partners are all in the anime world, and I wouldn't have met them otherwise. I don't know. I probably would have... I really don't know. Not nearly as cool a place as I am now. That's all I can say. I might be doing more corporate training, which is good money. It's a great side job, and I'll take money where I can get it, but it's not as cool as this.
Well, you did mention you have children. Do you think any of them want to take up your job as well? Voice acting?
My oldest, definitely not. He's 23, and he's a tech guy, does networking for a company, servers and stuff I don't really understand. I kind of do. If I sat with him at work, I'd know exactly what he does, but because it's translated differently, I don't know exactly what he does. But so he's not into acting at all, although he's been on set with me several times, assisting, production assistant. And then the 13-year-old is, he's into a lot of stuff, but he's not really into acting. And then the one under him, Gabe, he's done some shows and is good at it and enjoys it. And then under him is Sophia, who I really think is an actress. She seems to have the bug and the sort of skills for it. And then under her is Max, and he's too young to tell. And Juliet's just a baby, so she's just good for being a paperweight. She's asleep. Sleepy baby paperweight. Sleepy baby paperweight. That's a good tongue twister warm-up.